Engulfed by a catastrophe, humanity was tested in unprecedented times. Millions worldwide were affected, and our community was impacted too. How did the Khoja community cope in this pandemic? We, as a community, have had many crises and faced numerous challenges. The 1874 split from the Ismailis, the 1947 partition and then formation of Pakistan, the 1972 Ugandan exodus, the Somali crisis in the early 90s, the 2015 Yemen crisis, and indeed the COVID-19 pandemic through 2020 and 2021. As the pandemic spread worldwide and there was uncertainty in all aspects of life, the World Federation moved swiftly by creating structures with a multi-pronged strategy. A team of medical doctors and religious experts provided both religious, spiritual, and medical guidance to the communities. A communication and data stream created an economic team of experts that dwelt on collecting data from Africa, India, and Pakistan to devise and send economic aid to the most vulnerable impacted by the pandemic. A team of vaccine experts, including procurement team, to make effort to get vaccines for community members. Khojas have endured each one, but this pandemic was a different challenge, a global upheaval. Vaccines were restricted in Tanzania.
We wrote to so many agencies, NGOs, government agencies, ministries in UK, WHO, Serum Institute. Please help us. We are an NGO, the World Federation NGO. Please give us those vaccines. We have a community globally, particularly in Africa, who don't have access to it, India and Pakistan. And at that point in time, many governments were rolling it out, except for Africa, particularly Tanzania, as we know. With the drive in Dubai that boosted us, Alhamdulillah Ta'ala, September managed to procure vaccines and a discussion with authorities in Abu Dhabi. And by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they allowed us to take that to other countries.
When I came back from Africa, getting stuck there in the time of COVID, I arrived sometime around the month of November, and I myself contracted COVID. So this became a personal battle to see what was the best treatment around. So I engaged with my dear friend, Dr. Riaz Asnali in New York, to find out what was the best vaccine available to be able to get it for myself and my family. I started to look at the plight of the people who did not have the means or the knowledge to get assistance to prevent themselves to get COVID. We started helping people out between 50 to 100 a week to anybody, people of every faith, young and elderly. As long as they required assistance and they had some medical ailments, we would provide the vaccines at free of charge. We could see the situation unfolding in Africa. At the same time, we decided to take it further, and we set up a facility at the healthcare city. The requirement was to bring in people from Tanzania under the guidance of the World Federation and have them inoculated, especially the most vulnerable. So these would be the frontline workers, as well as the Gusal committee, and to provide them with the safety net throughout the pandemic. Globally, if we were to look at, over 5,000 people were inoculated in the Dubai vaccination program between December and July of 2020, out of which about 1,000 people were from Khoja origin. So that means we had a lot of people from other communities, maybe 20 countries, who got support.
At that point in time, when Momineen were coming from Tanzania, people who could afford and spend their own money to come here and get inoculated, the president of the Islam Jamaat Zabai came as well and felt that it was important that the Islam Jamaat supports the frontline workers, the people who are responsible for Ghusl, Kafan, Dafan, people at Ibrahim Haji Hospital, And we had a discussion, and initially those were all sponsored by the Jamaat. At that point in time, when we saw that there was a dire need to bring more people and those vulnerable, and particularly those who could not afford, we spoke to Murabi Abid Bahmani. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His kind blessings, He came forth and said that I'm going to offer $100,000, get as many people vaccinated. We said, Mama, how many can we vaccinate? 100,000. We can only bring in a few people. He said, increase it to 200,000. So Alhamdulillah. So we started that. And at some point, Abid Bhai came back and said, no, continue the drive. And I'm pledging up to $1 million. And when that gets dried off, come back to me. And that gave us the boost and strength to bring in as many people from Tanzania as feasible.
I picked up the call and called Safdar Bhai, and I said, there is an opportunity. He says, what is the opportunity? I says, we have an opportunity to take Sputnik Light vaccines, and if we can get the approval through Tanzania or Zanzibar, then Abu Dhabi will support us in the cause. And this is how it all entailed, and with the support of World Federation, they mobilized people on the ground.
At that point in time, I wrote to the president of Zanzibar, Dr. Minye, and explained to him the need of bringing it to Zanzibar, both as a gift for the people of Zanzibar and to allow other communities to be vaccinated in Tanzania. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Dr. Minye wrote back and welcomed the initiative of the World Federation as the first non-governmental organization to bring vaccines in the island of Zanzibar.
Mbali ya hapo tumeenda mbali zaidi, tumepartner na wenzetu World Federations na KSIJ. Tumepartner nao ambao wametusaidia hizi chanjo za Sputnik na tukaweza kuzidistribute kwenye wilaya zetu kwa kushirikiana na waratibu waliopo, ambapo kwa pamoja kupitia program hizi zilizokuwa zinaendelea tukaweza kufanikisha matumizi ya chanjo hizi. Hivi tunavyozungumza watu zaidi ya 105,000 wameshachanjwa kwa upande wa Tanzania, na hivi tunapozungumza tumeshachanja zaidi ya watu 105,000 sawa na 15%. Kwa hivyo tuna imani na upatikanaji huu wa chanjo, basi tutaenda kuifikia hii idadi ya watu 275,200 by end ya Disemba.
The initial dose of 5,000 doses were actually a charity from Abu Dhabi to us, to World Federation, to take it for the people of Zanzibar. And this is how it all unfolded. On the ground, with the support of KSIJ of Dar es Salaam and Africa Federation, we created a whole structure at the Madinat al-Bahar Hotel in Zanzibar and started inoculating the first Khojas and other communities to come and get their vaccinations. What was important in this campaign, we involved every community, the Khojas, the Bahoras, the Hindus, the Ahl Sunnah, even the Christians. Everybody got involved together and participated in not only pledging and donating for the cause, but also helping with their volunteers and creating a whole system so that everybody could benefit. Again, WF pushed the program and managed to get an additional consignment from Abu Dhabi of 20,000 more vaccines, which were delivered, I believe, in the month of July. And the program is still ongoing, and I believe it's now in its completion stage. In the next week or two, we'll be finalizing the whole campaign.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the WF-Ed for facilitating vaccines in Tanzania. It's really helped us also for our community and all the other communities locally in Tanzania. It has really created some kind of interfaith with other communities.
One of the very dear friends of mine told me, and he was very grateful for this particular program because He was very worried about his old grandmother who could not travel, and he was worried that this pandemic would rage on and there would not be any type of help in the country. Alhamdulillah, they took advantage of this particular opportunity. They got inoculated, and now they were elated that they had a safeguard against this particular virus.
من از همه عزیزانی که در اینجا زحمت کشیدند، همه دستاندرکاران که نظم بسیار خوبی داشتند در تزریق واکسن کرونا صمیمانه سپاسگزارم و این صحنه‌ای که وارد شدیم دیدیم در و دیوارش همه ذکر خدا بوده.
I myself personally thank Dar es Salaam Jamaat to facilitate these facilities for elders to their homes who cannot come towards the station, and it is really saving a lot of lives.
Tulihakikisha tunafuata protocol za kujikinga na COVID-19. Protocol hizo ni ku-maintain social distance, kuvaa mask kwa kwetu sisi watoaji huduma pamoja na tunawapa huduma, pamoja na kujisafisha kwa sanitizer. Lakini pia tunaendelea na project yetu kabla ya mtu
Federation mmetuwezesha, tumeweza, asanteni.